the reality of wrestling is in the house. And a man that has been making quite possibly the biggest wave of all, most recently making it to the semifinals of the Battle of Los Angeles. And now looking to be the next man to be a two-time reality of wrestling champion within this building.
This is a huge feat for Bryan Keith, but definitely no stranger to these kind of championship matches. The bounty hunter himself, Swisha House representative.
Gun pointed to the sky. The man with the black halo is here. He is ready for a fight. And you know that this man can adapt to literally anything. He was supposed to not even be at the Battle of Los Angeles. He replaced somebody. And now he's got the biggest test of his career here in front of him when he faces the new champion, Edge Stone, the reality of wrestling champion here tonight.
Well, here we go, the brand new.
The stone don't crumble. Yeah. Let's go.
There he is. That is that man, the king of Stone Island, and now the king of reality of wrestling, the brand new reality of wrestling champion, defeating the mysterious Q for his first reality of wrestling championship.
It was an absolute amazing matchup that we saw in Christmas Chaos, where Edge Stone did what seemed impossible, and once again defeating Mysterious Q for a singles championship, this time for the Road Championship. And he carried that previous title, the TV title, for a long time. One can only imagine how long he is going to hold this one, but he is running against one of the greatest to have ever graced the reality of wrestling in Bryan Keith here tonight.
He is, but you gotta admit, that belt looks real nice around Stone's waist.
Stop looking at his waist.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Oh, whoa, hold on now.
And it is for the Reality of Wrestling Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. From Greens Point, Texas. You last saw him making international headlines, representing reality of wrestling at Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Battle of Los Angeles, the Bounty Hunter, Bryan Keith. And his opponent from Stone Island. You last saw him defeating Mysterious Q to become the reigning, defending Reality of Wrestling Champion, Edge Stone.
Guys, the bell hasn't even rung, and I already have goosebumps.
I want to have that checked out.
I'm just shocked that announcer Chris Russo stayed in the ring with those two aggressive behemoths in their own right.
Russo's from the DC area. He can handle himself. He's a tough guy right there. Don't let his boyish face fool you. And here we go. It is main event time. Oh, the reality of wrestling. The defending champion, Edge Stone, puts his title up against, without a doubt, one of the hottest wrestlers in the world right now, Bryan Keith.
Oh my goodness.
Keith, you're right. They are split. Bryan Keith, you know, his recent tactics aside, let's say, has become one of the most sought-after performers in all of professional wrestling. Not just Texas wrestling, all over the country and soon to be all over the world. You talk about him at the Battle of Los Angeles for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. He's going to be going to New York for House of Glory. This guy is on everyone's radar right now.
He is on everyone's radar, but also he has been traveling. He has been working quite a bit. That is wear and tear on your body. Is he prepared for this championship match?
That's a very great question. You know, jet setting, traveling. He flew into the flew in for this match today. You know, a lot of times if you have a big championship match, you want to get to the town a few days early so you can acclimate to the time zone. You can be aware of the temperature and the air pressure. I mean, these things sound trivial, but they are not. This is something that an athlete has to do. Now, Edge Stone, Kirby Carry-On, this is somebody who we've literally seen rise from the ground up here in Reality of Wrestling, similar to that of Bryan Keith, a Raw original who is risen through the ranks, risen through the ranks, and he has become champion in his own right, beating the franchise, the most decorated competitor in Reality of Wrestling history. And it's really interesting if you juxtapose him winning the championship from Mysterious Q when Bryan Keith won his first Raw title from Ryan Davidson, the very first Grand Slam champion in company history.
And that's what I was going to mention whenever Brittany was talking about how does Bryan Keith acclimate to this. This is not a strange scenario for Bryan Keith. This man will literally take the fight to whomever, wherever. He has fought giants his entire life, and he has literally taken championships from giants. Bryan Keith can very well get the job done tonight, and it's going to be no surprise if he managed to do so. But Edge Stone is a whole other animal ever since he's become champion.
Well, this is his first defense, and a lot of times when we look at the first defense, it will tell you a lot about the reign to come. Obviously, if he were to lose to Bryan Keith tonight, he's had one of the shortest reigns in Reality Wrestling history. But the size of Edge Stone and his physical abilities are something that is truly, and I don't mean to understate this or overstate this, but it is awe-inspiring to see.
Absolutely, I've got to agree with you there completely. And this one is going to be as brutal and as grueling as it gets. I've heard Edge Stone has been practicing his kicks because that's the one facet of his game that he doesn't really show often. But when you go against the quickest kicks in the South and you are the defending champion, you kind of want to one-up them. Absolutely, and Brittany Howland, here's one thing that must be on Edge Stone's mind as well as everybody viewing. It's one thing when you win the championship and you get that championship level confidence, but you have to be very careful it doesn't border on cocky.
Exactly, and right here you can see Bryan Keith has done his research. You said that Edge Stone was practicing his kicks, but Bryan Keith knows exactly where to chop him down at. He's working on those legs.
He's a big man. You got to take away the base. Obviously, that's going to put you in a great position to eliminate most offense that any man can have, let alone somebody the size of Edge Stone.
Exactly. I mean, your legs can be as massive as you want, but tendons and ligaments go only so far, and when they snap, they snap. Oh!
Look at that. A master. I mean, this is somebody who has honed his craft over the years, Kirby Carry-On. He is somebody who had to, we'll politely say, borrow his parents' car when he was just 14 and 15 years old to make it to the Pasadena Convention Center and sit in the stands to watch Booker T's professional wrestling. And now he finds himself as one of the hottest free agents in all of professional wrestling with the opportunity to regain a championship that he once held. Bryan Keith is that man. He really is. And that just props to his resilience. This guy has been through so much and he never gave up. He kept honing his craft. He kept getting better. And now, as you said, he's the hottest free agent for a reason. And we're seeing it right before our eyes. And can you imagine if he manages to capture that championship here tonight, he would carry that championship around everywhere. Well, you know what? Edge Stone is not going to allow that to happen. You see just the strength in the right arm of the champion, able to stop Bryan Keith from locking in that figure four. That was very impressive, and I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life.
That was shocking indeed. I mean, you really do have to pull out new things in order to go against somebody like Edge Stone. And Bryan Keith, I mean, I'm so impressed with what he's been learning on the road.
But quite literally, how much mileage has he put on his body?
Yes.
That's what we keep coming to. He might say he's 100%, but is 100% really 70?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
But he got 100% of that kick in.
You're damn right he did.
I have never seen Edge Stone in the situation that he is in right now. I don't think anybody's ever tried to chop the Giant down. But I said, Bryan Keith has experience in this very scenario. This is what he did to Ryan Davidson, and the same strategy is working.
Oh, look at that, though.
I was going to say is working, but apparently...
The heart, though, of Edge Stone, I mean, he knows what this particular defense is like. He knows what this means. He knows that winning a championship on any given Sunday, you can win. But you have to prove continued dominance as a champion. And right now, this is probably the most important match in Edge Stone's career.
Oh no, Edge
He's
looks
dazed by that.
dazed, yes.
Bryan Keith looking for that side effect. Is he gonna get it? But this is just where that power comes into play of Edge Stone. Oh, shoot.
The giant headbutt there that he learned from Tommy Bolton, his training partner, it seemed to pay off.
Putting that knee into Bryan Keith's back, but also doing a little damage to himself from previous injury earlier in the match.
Bookend-like maneuver to Bryan Keith. Referee Isaac Bouillon beginning his count. Obviously, if he gets up to a count of 10, championship's advantage here, Kirby.
Edge Stone would retain that championship, but if I know Edge Stone, that's not how he wants to retain that title. He's going to want a definitive victory over the Blackheart.
Oh.
You saw that hesitation there from Edge Stone. Unwilling hesitation, I should say.
Yeah, limping, as it were, with that damaged knee, but
there has got to be torn ligaments in that leg right now. Those kicks
Oh, look at that.
No.
Look at that. Not able to do it. Not able to do it. You called it, Kirby. You called it. Edge Stone might be in trouble here.
Championship reign could be coming to an end. Bryan Keith's damage is adding up. Let's look at this. Oh! Overhead stunner.
Oh my.
Stone stumbling. Stumbles into that back corner. Look at that. Blockbuster. Blockbuster. Can he get it? Can he get it? 1, 2. Not enough.
Oh. Brad, I don't know if Edge Stone will have any more to be able to put damage on Bryan. I mean, that should have been it.
That Blockbuster won him that Reality Wrestling Championship, if memory serves me correct, Kirby, carry on.
It did, not only once, but that's how he took the TV championship at one point as well. Let's now look at this. Bryan Keith hooking that bad leg.
So smart. And look at that, now just grapevining the left leg of Edge Stone. Oh, just cranking on that knee again, jarring it so that those tendons are just screaming in pain. Edge Stone has feelings in his knee that is foreign to him. Look at the resilience of the champion. Rodeo DDT! Rodeo DDT! Rodeo DDT! We have a new champion! 1, 2, and no! Oh my! Out of nowhere!
A maneuver that we haven't seen from Bryan Keith in God knows how long. What used to be his calling card, what used to be his ace, not enough to get the job done here tonight. But Edge Stone is in trouble as the big knee strikes. Bryan Keith could be just seconds away from being a 2-time Reality Wrestling champion.
trying to cinch it in, trying to put the period on the end of this.
Bryan Keith looking for that Soulfire bomb, but how is he going to get the body of Edge Stone in position?
Oh! Just flipped him almost inside out from that big clothesline with the right arm.
Will that be enough here?
1, 2, and 3. Yes, Edge Stone retains the championship.
This stone don't crumble.
Here is your winner, Ed
Yeah. Let's go.
Reality Wrestling Champion, Ed
Take your best shot.
That stone did not crumble even after all the pressure put on the lower leg of Edge Stone. He battled Bryan Keith and retained the championship in his most important match in his career.
Retain the championship, however, as you can see on that knee, damage has been done. What's this gonna mean for Edge Stone moving further?
He's going to have to go in some serious rehab because those kicks, they were really, really deep. But he said that the first defense was going to be the blueprint of what his reign's going to look like. And if that was only the beginning, I can't wait to see how it continues.
Well, Bryan Keith back up to his feet here. Looking at the... Well, hold on. Edge Stone extends his right hand. Oh, wow.
What?
No love lost between Bryan Keith and Edge Stone.
Yeah. Let's go.
Well, Edge Stone just had his hand smacked away by Bryan Keith. And Bryan Keith up here at the ramp, staring back at the man who just defeated him. Oh, and look at that. Tips the cap. Tips the cap to Edge Stone.
And honestly, that is a sign of respect from Bryan Keith if there ever was one.
And that stone did not crumble. And he is still your Reality of Wrestling champion. Good night, everyone.